With this afternoon is
Olubukola Enimola. Good afternoon. You can also listen to us on live stream via www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at Premier FM 93.5. Nigeria requires collective effort to make her great. Contribute your quota today. And now the news in full. The Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained the People's Democratic Party (PDP) from going ahead with its scheduled national convention pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit filed by former Governor Sule Lamido of Jigawa State. Justice Peter Lifu, in a ruling, also restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from monitoring, supervising, or recognizing the outcome of the convention pending the hearing and determination of the suit before him. Justice Lifu held that the application filed by the applicant Lamido was meritorious. The judge, who noted the judgment delivered by Justice James Omotosho on October 31, stopping PDP from holding the convention, held that it would be in the interest of justice to grant Lamido's request. He said if PDP is allowed to go ahead with the event, the former governor would suffer more. Hence, it was necessary to grant the preservative order. Report says the PDP had fixed its national convention for 15th and 16th of this month in Ibadan, Oyo State. Lamido, in the ex parte motion moved by his lawyer Jeff Njikwe San on October 31, had obeyed the court to make the interim order pending the hearing determination of the motion on notice filed alongside.
the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has revealed that diplomatic channels are proven effective in restoring harmonious relationship between Nigeria and the United States. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Idris said channels of communication had been opened, adding that most of the information was as a result of lack of proper understanding of the diversity and complexities of the problem at hand. The minister affirmed that the United States government has always supported Nigeria in the fight against terror, saying Nigeria is still in need of collaboration to stamp out terrorism. He also maintained that the Nigerian constitution enshrines religious freedom and that the country remains a multi-faith nation, despite the conflict, which he said was not based on religious persecution.
The presidency has reaffirmed President Bola Tinubu's commitment to tackling insecurity and promoting peaceful coexistence among Nigerians, describing him as a leader determined to end terrorism and rebuild national unity. The special advisor to the president on media and public communication, Mr. Sunday Dari, stated this while commending President Tinubu's focus on building peace and harmony. According to Mr. Dari, Nigeria is fortunate to have a president with the resolve and experience to lead the fight against terrorism and insecurity in the country. The presidential aide further emphasized that Nigeria's diversity should remain a source of strength, not division, noting that shared experiences have bound citizens together across faiths.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke will tomorrow lay the 2026 draft estimates of the state's budget before the State House of Assembly, as approved by the State Executive Council. Governor Adeleke appreciated the Speaker and all the members of the House of Assembly for their understanding, cooperation, support, as well as their desire to take the state to greater heights. This is contained in a letter signed by the Governor and sent to the State House of Assembly. The Speaker of the House, Mr. Adewale Egbedo, read the letter during plenary held at the Assembly Complex, Oshogbo. Mr. Egbedo noted that the development conformed with the extant rules and regulations, which stipulated that such draft estimate to be presented to the House for approval before the end of the year, preceding the commencement of the budget implementation. Earlier, the Osun State Research Integration Bill 2025 scaled through its first passage.
The National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) has announced that only about 40% of registered prospective corps members will be accommodated for the 2025 Batch C orientation exercise. A statement on the official X handle of the NYSC explains that the limited intake was due to camp capacity constraints across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT). According to the management, call-up numbers for the Batch C have already been released based on the order of registration. It assured that those who are not selected for the current batch would be automatically moved to the next orientation program scheduled to follow soon after the Batch C exercise. The NYSC reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring a smooth and hitch-free orientation exercise and service here for all corps members across the country.
The Alake and paramount ruler of Egba land, Oba Dedotun Gbadebo, has credited the remarkable peace and steady development witnessed in Egba land over the past 2 decades to the prevailing unity and cooperation among the people. Speaking at a news conference ahead of activities marking his 20th coronation anniversary, Oba Gbadebo said the harmony and togetherness of the Egba people remain the basis for social, economic and cultural advancements across the kingdom. The monarch noted that during his reign, Egba land has experienced significant infrastructural growth, expansion of industries, improved road network, and increased social awareness, adding that development efforts were deliberately extended beyond Abeokuta to other parts of the kingdom. Earlier, the chairman of the organizing committee, Chief Oluyinka Kufile, described the 20th coronation anniversary as the celebration of purposeful leadership, gratitude, and 2 decades of visionary service to the people of Egba land and Nigeria. Chikufile explained that the week-long activities will feature cultural displays, Thanksgiving service, youth and women empowerment programs, medical outreach, and a civic reception. Key events, according to him, will include a Jumat service and scholarship presentation on the 14th of November, chieftaincy installation on the 15th, school visit and health outreaches, traditional homages, as well as the sensitization on menopause and health screening for 1,000 people, alongside free eye screening and distribution of glasses scheduled to take place on Monday, 17th of November. The Egba High Chief said the celebration climax will be a Thanksgiving service on the 19th of November at the Cathedral Church of St. Peter's, Ake, Abeokuta, while a Southwest Junior Squash Tournament will round off the event on Saturday, 22nd of November 2025.
The Ogun State government has announced plans to inaugurate the renovated 250-bed at the State Medical Center of Excellence in Okemosan, Abeokuta next month. Governor Dapo Abiodun, who inspected the facility, revealed that the center will be managed in partnership with the Abuja Medical Center of Excellence. Governor Abiodun said the hospital would serve as a primary health care hub capable of reducing medical tourism and providing quality health care for residents within and outside Ogun State. The governor stressed that the hospital will ease patient traffic to Lagos and other states, offering a more convenient healthcare option for patients from Oyo, Osun, and Ekiti states. Project manager of the hospital, Dr. Frank Etan, confirmed that construction work has started on the first floor, including the theatre, ICU, and wards.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, and the Center for Communication and Social Impact, CCSI, in collaboration with the Oyo State Primary Healthcare Board, has organized a day town hall meeting in Ibadan. The meeting provided avenue for stakeholders, including traders, artisans, religious and community leaders, health workers, the civil society organizations, to brainstorm and chart the way forward for better service delivery on the 4 thematic health issues. This disclosure centered on immunization, antenatal care, infant health care, and family planning. The scientific officer, NPHCDA Abuja, Hajiya Halima Yusuf, explained that the agency is always committed to providing functional and accessible healthcare centers to all Nigerians, irrespective of their locations and socio-economic status. Hajiya Yusuf appealed to stakeholders to use their platform for public enlightenment on the need for citizens to make use of healthcare centers for the treatment of diseases. The Executive Secretary, Oyo State Primary Healthcare Board, Dr. Muhyiddin Olatunji, represented by the Director, Disease Control and Immunization, Dr. John Osoko, said the reduction in child and maternal mortality in the state was possible with stakeholders' support. Oyo State Chairperson, Federation of Muslim Women Association of Nigeria, Form 1, Dr. Latifa Dairo, and the State Secretary, Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Mrs. Caroline Abiola, commended healthcare workers for their professionalism in attending to the retirees, promising continued partnership with the Oyo State government to ensure citizens' active participation in primary healthcare system.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has announced the production and sale of alcoholic beverages in sachets and bottles smaller than 200 milliliters would be prohibited by next month. The agency's Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, disclosed this during a briefing in Abuja, noting that the decision was part of efforts to address the growing misuse of cheap alcoholic drinks among youths and motorists. She said the proliferation of high alcoholic content beverages in sachets and small containers had made such products easily accessible, affordable, and conciliable, leading to widespread misuse and addiction among minors and commercial drivers. Professor Adeyeye said the public health menace had been linked to increased incidences of domestic violence, road accidents, school dropouts, and social vices across communities. She, however, explained that the directive followed a Senate dissolution raising concerns about the availability of low-cost alcoholic beverages in sachets, which have reportedly contributed to social and health problems. The agency's Director General recalled that NAFDAC had previously entered into a memorandum of understanding with stakeholders to implement the phased withdrawal of the products, with earlier deadlines postponed from 2023 to 2025.
Over 1,500 families in Agbowo, Akpete, Moni and Ring Road area of Ibadan, Oyo State have received all startup kits after completing training on sustainable organic backyard gardening organized by the Waste Museum. The free training, held in partnership with the UNDP Global Environment Facility GEF, included lectures, practical sessions, and field work. Beneficiaries receive 9 varieties of seed packs, 10 kg of manure, a seed tray, and a watering can each during the distribution held at Monia in Ibadan. Speaking at the event, the founder and creative director of the Waste Museum, Mrs. Jumoke Olowokere, urged participants to grow their seeds to produce healthy food and generate income.
Inspiration is for people to grow their food and grow their own medicine and be able to live an healthier life and also make money from what they grow at the back of their house.
On sustainability, Mrs. Olowokere said the Waste Museum will monitor participant farm and reconvene them in 3 months for evaluation. She also appealed to the federal government to support the initiative to enable its expansion across Nigeria for nationwide food sufficiency. Mr. Olowokere announced this Friday as the date for distributing startup kits for trainees who missed the first phase. In her own remarks, the founder of Life Builders and Global Environment Facility GEF co-grantee, Dr. Grace Oluwatoye, advised beneficiaries to share their seeds with neighbors as part of efforts to enhance food security.
The number of people who are going home to establish their backyard garden, we are sure food is going to come plenty for Nigeria. And once we secure food security, all these things are growing in the environment, they are reducing the carbon in the environment.
Some beneficiaries, including Mr. Oyedele Oyewole, Mrs. Saidat Adetunji, and Mrs. Ruth Adewale, expressed their readiness to apply the climate-smart techniques to grow food, both for their family consumption and for income generation.
The Ekiti State government says it has approved 300 million naira to boost poultry farming and empower young people across the state. Governor Abiodun Oyebanji, stated this during the profit distribution ceremony for the second batch of the Ekiti State Broilers Production Scheme in Ado-Ekiti, commended President Bola Tinubu for releasing funds to ensure food security in the country. Our correspondent Olani Yalade covered the event for Radio Nigeria. His report.
Governor Abiodun Oyebanji, represented by his deputy, Chief Monisa Diafoye said the initiative aims to strengthen poultry production in the state with a target of producing about 90,000 birds per circle. He described the scheme as a key driver for wealth creation and employment opportunity, noting that profits have grown impressively from 19.4 million naira in the first phase to 77 million naira in the second phase. The governor commended the youth farmers for their dedication, saying their commitment is helping to position Ekiti for food security and economic prosperity.
Mr. Governor has approved 300 million for the expansion of the scheme. The next phase, number 3, will include another additional 200 young participants to raise 90,000 birds per circle and further consolidate our drive towards agro-industrial development.
Also speaking, the Commissioner of Agriculture in Ekiti State, Mr. Ebenezer Boluwade, said the program marked a major step in the state effort to make agriculture the backbone of the economy. The Commissioner revealed that 6 poultry pens have already been refurbished with more facility under construction to support the expanding scheme.
Congratulations. You are the pride of this administration. May you continue to grow your business and serve as ambassador of modern agriculture in Ekiti State.
One of the beneficiaries, Mr. Femi Fagbemi, thanked the government for the opportunity, saying the project has given them both skills and confidence to succeed in life. For Radio Nigeria, Olaniyi Alade.
This is The World Today. The story that made the headlines. Court has stopped PDP from conducting national convention over chairmanship tussle. NAFDAC set to enforce ban on alcohol in sachet small bottles. And still to come, Syria collaborate with United States to end terrorism. So the attack claimed 12 lives in Pakistan. We'll be right back with these and many more after this time out. Don't go away.
Thank you for staying tuned as we now move to the international scene. A senior Trump administration official has confirmed that Syria will join the international coalition to combat the Islamic State group, marking a shift in U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. The announcement came as President Trump met Syrian President Ahmed al-Sarraj at the White House on the first such visit from a Syrian leader in the country's history. Speaking to newsmen in the Oval Office after the meeting, President Trump said that the U.S. wanted to see Syria become a country that is very successful. Syria will now be the 90th country to join the global coalition, which is aimed at eliminating remaining elements of the so-called Islamic State and stemming the flow of foreign militants to the Middle East. Following the meeting, the senior administration official also confirmed that the U.S. Treasury Department, along with Departments of State and Commerce, would announce new measures to lift economic restrictions on Syria and provide compliance clarity for investors.
The U.S. Senate has passed a crucial funding bill that can bring the longest government shutdown in history to an end within days. The bill passed in a 60-40 vote, with nearly all Republicans joining 8 Democrats who splintered from the party to approve it. The deal funds the government until the end of January. The House of Representatives will now have to pass the bill before President Donald Trump can sign it into effect. The deal came to fruition over the weekend after some Democrats joined Republicans and negotiated an agreement to get federal employees back to work and essential services restarted.
Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been released from prison 3 weeks into a 5-year sentence for participating in a criminal conspiracy. A Paris court ruled that Sarkozy would be placed under judicial supervision and is barred from leaving France pending his appeal, which is scheduled for next year. Sarkozy was accused of receiving millions of euros from the late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi to fund its 2007 presidential campaign. In September, he was found guilty of criminal association related to the alleged plot between 2005 and 2007 in exchange for the diplomatic favors. Report says his 5-year prison term began in October, making him the first former French president in modern times to be sentenced to jail.
An explosion has killed at least 12 people and injured 27 others outside a court building in Pakistani capital Islamabad. Report says a powerful car bomb exploded at the entrance of the sprawling district judicial complex in the city.
Armed fighters have attempted to take over Kadai College hours before Islamabad blast. The blast in Islamabad comes just hours before Pakistani security forces foiled an attempt by armed men to take Kadai hostages at an army-run college overnight.
In today's Heart of the Matter, Olawale Asake of our Current Affairs Unit writes on the abuse of siren in the country.
Siren is a loud noise-making device mounted at locations or devices to warn or alert people of a given situation. Sirens are used on emergency service vehicles such as ambulances, police cars, fire trucks, and the military vehicles. The aim is to alert other road users that the service vehicle is on a mission and to enable them to pave way for such a vehicle to pass. Sirens are no doubt very significant in a society with a high level of criminality and bad road network, which in most cases are responsible for gridlock on major roads. However, it is disheartening that a new dimension at the use of siren in Nigeria has become worrisome to many stakeholders. Prominent among such are the instances where police service vehicles, which are obviously not on an official mission, would blow sirens, forcing other unsuspecting users off the way, and may even swerve, which may result in an accident. There have been instances where security agencies' vehicles conveying livestock would abuse the use of siren to intimidate other road users in order to have their way. The use of siren on private vehicles belonging to influential individuals is also a cause of worry in the country. Ambulances, which are not an emergency, also turn on sirens, in many cases making other motorists to be afraid, particularly the learners. The development, however, is bringing gradual disrespect to the use of siren, irrespective of an emergency situation or not. Many times, road users do not take cognizance of the use of siren in the belief that service vehicle operators most times cry wolf. Worried by this development, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, announced that abusers of sirens will be prosecuted. While noting that abusers are not government officials but mainly private individuals who are not authorized to use the device, FRSC maintained that abuse of sirens is an abuse of freedom of movement and an intimidation to road users across the country. The organization would work with the Nigeria Police Force to ensure that offenders are prosecuted. However, a clog in the wheel is the fact that some officers and security men are believed to be among perceived abusers of sirens. At this critical state of the country, where the spate of insecurity is on the increase, health challenges are becoming more rampant and cases of fire disaster more frequent, the task of siren-using agencies would be on the increase. There is the need for the public to be enlightened on how to respect siren while on the road. Government at all levels should embark on programs that would enforce adequate compliance to the rules guiding the use of siren. Security chiefs should also place a red alert on the abuse of sirens and ensure that offenders are prosecuted to serve as a deterrent to others. Hospital workers should take cognizance of the fact that they deal with human life and should not cry wolf in any situation to protect the sanctity of human life. It behoves every Nigerian to respect the use of siren. Doing this will surely bring an end to such abuse. The media needs to strengthen its role in sensitizing the public on dangers inherent in siren abuse and the benefits if properly utilized.
That's great. On the abuse of siren was written by Olawale Asake of our Current Affairs Unit and read by Chinelo Obidike.
Naming of people and places are always significant to events that happened during the period. Alabidun is a popular place in Ibadan. And what could be the history and meaning of the name Alabidun? Ayobami Ogunleye is on ground for details.
One of the unique cultural practices of Yoruba people is to name places, people and things based on prevailing circumstances. Credence to this fact is the name of an area called Alabidun in Egbeda local government area of Ibadan, Oyo State. It's one of the communities that hosts the airport at Alakia in Ibadan. Historically, the name Alabidun could be traced to a great warrior known as Oshatomi, an indigenous of Oyo town who migrated centuries ago. According to Baale of Alabidun, Chief Olayiwola Oyekunle Alaranwan, the warlord Oshatomi left Oyo town to Ede and later to Ibadan in a bid to form alliance with Ogunmola in fighting Kiriji War. After the war, Oshatomi and his kinsmen went to hunt in a thick forest currently called Alabidun. In this forest, he saw a big tree that had a species of kolanut known as Obi Abidun kolanut on it, and he then settled therein. Chief Oyekunle added that the warlord planted more of Abidun kola trees and traded in Abidun kolanut to make ends meet. Over time, people from other villages visited the warlord to purchase Abidun kolanut from Alabidun, the possessor of Abidun kolanut. Thus, this village was called Alabidun to date.
That script on Alabidun was written by Rashida Makinde.
And now to end the news of the world today from the stable of Radio Nigeria. Here again are the day's top stories. The Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained the People's Democratic Party from going ahead with its scheduled national convention, pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit filed by former Governor Sule Lamido of Jigawa. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has announced that the production and sale of alcoholic beverages in sachet and bottles smaller than 200 milliliter will be prohibited by next month. A senior Trump administration official has confirmed that Syria will join the international coalition to combat the Islamic State group. And lastly, was told you that an explosion has killed at least 12 people and injured 27 others outside a court building in Pakistani capital, Islamabad.
Well, that's it on The World today. Join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of the program. Modukbe Toba edited. My name is Olubukola Inimola, wishing you a pleasant day, and from my colleague
Remy Molola, do enjoy the rest of the day. Good afternoon.